Hello, Eddie.
Hi, Katerina.
Oh, hi, Eddie.
What you doing?
I came out here to observe you.
Oh, well, you can observe me working on the 1934 Harley Davidson.
Uh-oh. With that nice-looking apron you got on.
Yeah, and I have my Valvoline pocket protector.
Oh, my God.
You can put your screwdrivers and your pens in there. I usually put my pens in there.
Yeah, you're looking rather dapper.
And what I'm doing is I just finished honing this cylinder.
Look at that.
This is a cylinder, the front cylinder off the 1934 Harley. And when I put it together, I put together an old style piston in one cylinder and a new style piston in the other. And I got a little bit of vibration from that. So I took it apart this year and I took out the old style piston and now I put in two matching pistons.
Oh.
But to make that work, I had to change the size of the inside of this cylinder.
Oh, well, let me get in a little closer.
Okay, we call that a bore.
Oh, well, you're no bore, honey.
And what I did was I took a thing called a honing stone, and I used my new tool that I bought in Athens.
A new tool?
Yeah, I
Whoa.
bought this old
Oh, my goodness.
ray gun electric drill from your friend in Athens. I forgot his name, but you know it.
Yes, let me think about that a minute. Whoa, look at
And
that.
let me show you how I did it.
I think his name is John.
I took this tool, which has 3 honing stones,
Look at that.
and this goes into the cylinder
Uh-huh.
and expands
Wow.
like that.
That's pretty nifty,
And
Eddie.
then we use this ray gun looking electric drill to turn it. And then these honing stones grind the inside of the cylinder to exactly the dimension we want.
Oh my goodness.
And to determine, to get it to the right dimension, we have a tool that we use for that.
Oh.
And it's called a dial bore gauge.
So you can,
That's this tool right here.
a dial bore gauge.
Right, because this is a bore and this is a gauge and this is a dial.
Isn't that special?
So we put it in there and you can see that when I straighten it up, the needle moves.
Yes, that's very fantastic.
Our goal on this cylinder was to get it to where that needle moved right to the 0.
Well, look at that.
We got a little bit off, real perfect right there, 0.
Wow.
And that's, now we can move this around in here and determine if the cylinder is round, exactly straight, with this dial bore gauge.
Huh.
And the way we set the dial bore gauge is by measuring the piston with the micrometer, which is this tool right over here.
It's a good thing you know where everything is, Eddie.
Here's a piston.
Okay.
This isn't the piston that I actually fit to the cylinder
Uh-huh.
because I put that on the motor already.
I see.
But this is a piston, and we can use the micrometer, and we come up with the size of the piston and read it on the micrometer. And then we take the micrometer, mount it in the vise like this,
I see.
and we set the dial bore gauge with the micrometer. See how it sets right? It should set right to 0 if I can get it to hold in place correctly.
I see that. That is pretty special. Wow.
Right there. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we know that that size is this size because we use the micrometer to measure the dial bore gauge.
So you had a confirmation.
Right. We know exactly how big this is when the dial is at 0 because we use this to put it there.
Now you got good data.
There we
Eddie,
go.
gotta have good data.
0. So now we know the piston will fit with just the right clearance into the cylinder.
Wow, that was pretty special.
Then I took the piston over here. I already did this when you weren't here. But if you come over here to the motorcycle,
Okay, I'll come over. Oh yeah, look at that.
you'll see the piston right here,
Uh-huh.
which I already mounted in place, put the rings on it, and I made this thing right here, this piece of paper, which is called a gasket.
Look at that. That's quite nice, Eddie. You did great. Look at that. Wow.
And the next thing we're going to do is squeeze these rings and put the cylinder right onto the piston and mount it.
Wow.
And then we're going to put the heads back on the engine, on the motorcycle, and we'll be ready to go.
Huh.
We have these copper gaskets,
Very
which
nice.
go right here.
That's very nice, Eddie.
And then we have the heads
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Excellent.
And this was a very big innovation for Harley Davidson in 1930 when this engine was developed, that you could take the head off.
Yeah, take the head off.
Before that, it was impossible.
Oh boy.
If you look at the older motorcycle, right here,
Oh, there. There's the
Made.
21.
this motor was made up till 1929, but you can see, or maybe you can't see, but I'll tell you, you can't take the head off this cylinder.
Oh no.
It won't come off. It's one piece.
Huh.
And in 1930, Harley Davidson made a change and made the decision that the top of the cylinder should come off with bolts.
I see.
And that was the innovation, and that allowed us to work on this cylinder and hone it at home without having to have special boring tools.
Huh. Pretty cool,
And
Eddie.
here it is. Now we have a nice
Now we have
pattern
it.
in here. If you
All
get,
right.
as you move the hone up and down, you get what's called a crosshatch pattern,
Good for you.
and that's what this has. And
Well,
it's
you know
ready
what?
to put
I'm
together.
I'm glad that we came out to observe
Oh, I'm
you.
glad you came out too, Katerina.
Okay, Eddie.
You say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Eddie.
Good night, Katerina.